Hello, I'm doing this video explaining my situation. When Arizona Auditor mirrored my video, I saw people left a lot of comments, so I'm making this video to answer some questions and because I also need help. I didn't know any better growing up in the ghetto. I also didn't have the best role models either. So I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't say this to blame anyone because I take full responsibility for all my past mistakes. My mother wanted to show us better, but I also know that she didn't know how. This is a generational thing. If my mother's parents didn't show her, how was she going to show us? As a kid, and even as a teen, 70% of the things you learn at home. Now that I'm older and I'm a parent myself, I understand that it was hard for my mother raising 7 kids on her own. Besides, you don't get a how to be a parent's manual when you become a parent. My first arrest was when I was 18 years old. I got arrested for possession of stolen property and possession of drugs. I took a deal like an ignorant kid I was, a 32-month joint suspension just so I could go free that day. For the people that don't know, a joint suspension is when you get sentenced to prison, but they suspend your sentence in exchange for something. In my case, I had a complete drug court, a 1-year program. I violated drug court when I was 19 years old for not completing NA classes, Narcotics Anonymous classes. So they sent me to prison. That's where I met this person, at the Leno reception, because he was from the Coachella Valley. But I never saw him again. Never hung out with him. Never saw him again. Now forward to 2018. I'm 29 years old, trying to get my life together. I have a family now. Hadn't seen this person in years. We ran into each other, we exchanged numbers. About 2 weeks later, he calls me asking me if I could give him a ride from his mom's house to the Spa Casino in Palm Springs. I agree, so I go to Cathedral City and I pick him up from his mom's house. We drive to Palm Springs. As I'm pulling into the parking lot at the casino, this person tells me we're getting pulled over. I look into the rearview mirror and I see the cop lights. The other person gets off first, so I park the car. Then I get off because I was still closing my sunroof. I walk towards the front of the car when the officer screams, "Hey!" So we both turn around and he tells me that I'm getting pulled over because I did a California stop and roll, which I didn't. That's the reason he used to pull me over. He asked me for my license and he asked if we were on probation or parole. I told him no. He asked me if he could search the car. I said no. He asked me if he could search me. I told him no. He didn't start searching anyone until his backup arrived. Then he searched me, didn't find anything. Then he searches the other person and find a pipe and drugs on him. And on the report, it says that when the other person was being walked to the cop car, that person told the other officer that there was a firearm in the car under the passenger seat, that it was mine. When honest to God, when I picked up this person from his mom's house, I didn't know he had a gun. I never knew he had a gun the whole time. I only found out he had a gun when the officers found the gun. Long story short, we go down to the police station. They take me to the interrogation room and he asked me if I want to talk. He tells me that I already know the gun's not yours. Tell us whose it is. I told him to fingerprint the gun. That I didn't know whose it was. I never even knew that there was a firearm in the car. Since he didn't like what I had to say, he put in the report that I was being vague in his report. I've been fighting this case since March 23rd, 2018. Since then, I've had 2 state-appointed attorneys, Jake Devane, which I had a Marsden hearing and it got granted. The Marsden hearing is to fire your attorney. And that was on June 18th that I fired my attorney. So they assigned me a new attorney, and his name is Cameron Quinn. He's a state appointed as well, and he hasn't done anything. The only thing Jake did was send some emails to the casino and the DA asking them for fingerprints of the gun, body cam, dash cam. The DA sent something back saying that that officer didn't have body cam that day or dash cam that day. So this is what I've been dealing with for the last 16 months, so I could prove my innocence, because I am 100% innocent. I didn't know that this person had a firearm on him. So that's why I'm doing this, asking for help and support. Anybody that's willing to help and support me, even if that just means subscribing to my channel and leaving a comment or hitting the like button. Another thing before I forget, after I had fired my attorney on the 18th of June, which was last month, I'm waiting to get the transcripts for the 18th of June of this year, because in those transcripts, the other person, he finally is trying to take a deal, and he finally admitted in court, because he didn't want to waive no more time. He just wanted to take his time and go upstate already, and he didn't want to waive no more time. But since the judge granted my Marsden hearing, he had no other choice but to wait. And in court, he told the judge and the DA, and he said, I already told my attorney and the DA that Espinosa had nothing to do with it. He didn't know that there was a firearm, that I lied. And still, even then, they're still not wanting to drop the charges. In the beginning of the video, I put up the emails and the letter from the casino. Those are just copies that I got in the discovery. As soon as I get the transcripts, I'll put them up in a new video so you guys could check them out. And I want to thank everybody that tuned in to check out my video. Also, if you want to support, I left the link in the description. Thank you.